video. It's short. It's called Everyday Heroes. For the new people, it gets results in about 5 minutes. And if you've seen it before, it's the kind of thing I can always see again. Because when I went to my first results meeting, 2002, and I was invited, I didn't realize that I was the meeting. I was the one new person, and they showed a video. I don't even remember what it was. They showed a video, and it was when I saw those children, and I heard those statistics, I could not be a part of results. And that was 13 years ago. So let's watch the video.
When I was elected to Congress in 1985, I don't think it was a month that had gone by after I'd been sworn in before the first results group, and I had never heard of them before that. It showed up on my doorstep in Tucson. And then, of course, they showed up here in Washington when they came to the annual conference. And every year thereafter, for 22 years, at least one meeting in Washington and one meeting in Arizona, usually 2 or 3 meetings a year in Arizona, I would see the results of people. And I have to tell you, it has an impact.
This is such a wonderful, wonderful group and an inspiring one. You inspire me, and you make things happen.
Results kind of provides a platform for the idea that every voice counts.
It's an extremely effective organization. It gives you the tools that you need to effectively meet with your members of Congress and advocate for the poor.
When I started in results, there were 40,000 children dying a day, and that number's been almost cut in half. And I'm thinking, wait, by the time I die, I might see a world where children don't die of diseases that are preventable.
There are many successful people in this country, in business, in law, in science, but nobody got there alone. And nobody is there just because of their own wits and talents. Along the way, there were helping hands. Results, you give a helping hand, not only in the United States, but around the world.
Just last year, with our work in the US, UK, Canada, Australia, France, Japan, we were instrumental in securing more than half of the $4.3 billion pledge to Gavi that's going to allow Gavi to vaccinate over 250 million of the world's children, save 4 million children's lives, which is a child's life saved every 40 seconds.
There's no special interest that's more important than the people of the world, which results represents. So I just have to salute you and thank you so much.
I must tell you that the landscape has changed, has completely changed, because of all your efforts. Because we hold the power, we go to speak to our politicians, we speak to the congressmen, we speak to the senators, and we change policy. We change the landscape. And I must tell you that brothers and sisters back home are so much proud of all of you.
People always ask me, what about the role of lobbyists? And I say, well, there's lobbyists and there's other lobbyists. And the most important kind of lobbyist is the person who comes from your own district, from your own hometown. Somebody who you know, somebody who can speak to you, somebody who is a voter. And you're all of those. And you know these people. And you can speak with passion about what you believe in.
I wrote a letter to the editor about a bill that wasn't passed. And shortly after that, one of our representatives signed on to the bill. And they said, well, we just didn't know about it until we saw the letter to the editor. So I wrote another letter to the editor, which acknowledged her for signing on. And several weeks later, 3 other representatives signed on.
Whenever I get a little bit depressed about this mess here, I head back home and go to the Head Start Center. And in just a few minutes, the rest of this goes away. You realize that their life in that room and those people are doing something critically important, and we play a role in it.
I'm proud that when I come to Washington, I'm not just a tourist. I'm proud that I know my member of Congress by name and can call him up with any concern.
At Results, I think it's really great that there's a multi-generational community of advocates, and I think it's really important to draw upon those resources and the skills that people have from years or even decades of experience in advocacy.
There's never been a suggestion made by a Results member that I didn't agree with.
And the information that the staff gives us is terrific. I can count on it. I know that it's accurate. And so that's how I can reach out to other people, knowing that I have a sound base.
This is what Results has done for the last 30 years. So they make it very easy to send you to either write a letter or go in and meet with Congress armed with this information. Everybody is really well informed and does their research, and I think that's what makes it such an effective organization.
None of you seems like anyone that shies away from a hard task. Because we're facing things that no other generation before faced. Every generation faced a challenge of decency. Many generations faced a challenge of poverty, though we are the only ones that have within our hands the means to end extreme poverty.
I think the biggest thing you could really do to help the cause would be to join Results, to look in your town and see if there is a Results group that's active, or if there isn't one, connect with the Results office and start one. On your college campus, in your community, if there's anybody, or if there's anyone out there that you know that definitely wants to make a difference in the world and wants all their hard work to truly pay off, then Results is the way to do that.
See us when we go to their offices, whether it's local or whether it's in Washington. They can see us, they can hear it from us in our emails, in our phone calls, in our letters to the editor, in our op-ed pages, all those, they can hear us. We can be the video for Results in our lives and in our speaking. That's why it's so important for us to really know the message. I'd like to now introduce someone who is maybe as strong a Results member as I know. He is unrelenting in his advocacy for Results, and he's going to present our Seeds of Hope Award today. Mark Coates is been a Results partner and tireless advocate for 21 years. That's a long time. I think, Eloise, you're right at 21 years too, right? You are. And Ann is about 13 or 14, Ann Childs. Those three have been the backbone of Results, through thick and through thin. And they have helped to build a really good team. In fact, I'd like all the both domestic and global Results partners. Stand up, please. I want them to see all of you. Okay? These are people you can visit with afterwards if you'd like to know more about Results. Mark's career is in high tech, but I know the guy and his passion is Results. He is a tireless advocate. He's written countless letters to the editor, and most importantly, he has formed close relationships with elected officials and their staff members. to help them learn about results and how we can work together. And when I say staff members, I can't tell you how important they are. If you know results, you know that we get to see the congressperson or we get to see the senator occasionally, but we can see the staff people regularly, and having that relationship is just essential. You know, when Mark talks about results wherever he goes, I got an example of it last night. I trying to get my cousin, he and his wife are in Australia, trying to get him to contribute to this. He emailed me last night and said, I already got an email from somebody else, I'm giving. Mark, beat me to my own cousin. Story of my life. So please welcome my role model for results and my good friend Mark Coates.
I practiced this morning in front of the mirror. I didn't have to hold the mic. Well, I'm very excited for this opportunity to present this year's Seeds of Hope Award. The award is given to an individual or organization that demonstrates exemplary, innovative, and strategic work that extends health, education, and economic opportunity to the citizens of the world. We are at a remarkable point in the arc of the history of this movement to end hunger and poverty. By one critical measure, child mortality, we are halfway from where, you've heard the number 40,000, 20 years ago, 40,000 children died every day of preventable disease or malnutrition. And today, 24,000 fewer children will die today. And these numbers are mine. I hear them often and I hear them repeated. And it's just, you know, it is what it is, and that's just hard to fathom. But this was made possible by the work of Results, by the work of Results allies, like Women Vision with Deborah Cole here today. And our work is made possible by people like you, people who support our work. And your support makes it possible for our small staff to train and inspire us to become effective advocates who are able to influence policymakers and help them toward decisions that increase access to health and education. One particular policymaker has taken numerous actions at our urging, and he deserves our recognition. And actually, his list of things he's done is so long. I'm going to stick to just the last 18 months. And just warn you, it's good to stay awake here. There's a lot. In June, a year ago, he wrote a letter to President Obama urging him to support a robust multi-year commitment to the Global Partnership for Education. Then he became an initial co-sponsor of a House resolution for the Gavi Alliance, which you heard Joanne Carter mention in the video. The organization is a premier way of getting vaccinations to children around the world. Then he co-authored a congressional sign-on letter addressed to President Obama, urging him to make a robust pledge to the Gavi Alliance. The sign-on letter would be something that circulates around Congress and they gather signatures from their colleagues. And then in March this year, he met with UK parliamentarian Nick Herbert, who's a champion on tuberculosis. And subsequent to that, he joined the House Tuberculosis Caucus. He was a leader on the congressional sign-on letter to the appropriations leadership, asking them to prioritize maternal and child health. And, you know, when you join Results, you find out that how a bill becomes law is just one part of the story. There's a whole raft of things that happen along the way to build support for things that eventually become law. And one of them is the sign-on letters and these other kinds of mechanisms that build support within Congress before a bill even gets far enough along to be heard in committees. He also signed on to a letter to the Appropriations Committee advocating for education in the foreign assistance programs. And then this July, he helped lead yet another letter to President Obama asking him to support maternal and child health funding in the budget for next year, FY 2017. Whew. Okay, that was the hard part, getting through all those. So, but the one I'm most excited about is the action he took to be an initial co-sponsor of this Reach Every Mother and Child Act. The purpose of this legislation, and this is a quote straight out of the bill, is to implement a strategic approach for providing foreign assistance in order to end preventable maternal, newborn, and child deaths globally within a generation. That's the second half. We've done the first half over the last 20 years. This bill puts in place a blueprint for the United States to participate and lead the world to end these preventable deaths. And it's important because it builds upon the recent improvements that have been made in how aid has been prioritized, such as focusing on countries which have the greatest need and leveraging effective approaches. You know, something as simple as spreading the knowledge that you should dry a baby off when it's born, or you should use a sterile instrument to cut the umbilical cord, not a stick. And for heaven's sake, don't use cow manure to staunch the wound of the umbilical cord. These can prevent mother and baby both from contracting tetanus, which often deadly. This member of Congress has surrounded himself with capable and friendly staff. And because he's a member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, it was critical for the bill when his aide worked with Results to vet the language on the bill with the staff of the Foreign Affairs Committee even before it was introduced. So they get the language right before they put it down. This member is Congressman Michael McCaul. He has represented the 10th Congressional District of Texas for 6 terms and is also the chairman of the House Homeland Security Committee. In October, when the Reach Every Mother and Child Act was introduced, Chairman McCaul released a statement. It is astonishing to see how much progress has been made thus far in reducing preventable deaths in some of the world's most impoverished countries. However, there's still much work that needs to be done. I am proud to be the co-sponsor of legislation that will accelerate current efforts to eliminate maternal and child deaths within a generation by developing a strategic, evidence-based approach that effectively utilizes resources. This bill will help save the lives of millions. I'm glad I'm represented by Congressman McCaul. I'm overjoyed by his leadership in bending the arc of history toward a world where every child can thrive and where poverty has been relegated to museums. It is a privilege to be able to acknowledge my representative, Congressman Michael McCaul, and present to him the 2015 Seeds of Hope Award, and some assembly will be required. and although the Congressman is not here today, I'm glad that Blaine Fulmer, the Western District Field Director, is here to accept the award on his behalf. Blaine?